Hello Troglodyte Tribe. Today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to do an unboxing and first thoughts video of a pedal that I bought that I've never even played before. So I think my dog's coming in and out, so she'll just be around. So there it is. It is, let's see how it comes. It comes in a cardboard box, which is quite exciting. So, delivery note. It is officially called the Dunlop Authentic Hendrix 69 Psych UniVibe Chorus Vibrato pedal. So it's quite snappy and short. Good title. Right. Let's see how this goes. So, yeah, it's had a little bit of... Let's just get into it. Well packaged. Nice. And if you can see that, there. If I do that. That is a nice box. As pedal boxes go, as excited as you can be about a pedal box, yeah, I like it. Okay. The UniVibe Mini. That background noise that you're hearing now is my dog's chewing that cardboard, ripping that cardboard to bits. It's very nicely packaged. It feels really good thick quality cardboard. Feels very protected. And wow, considering the size of the box, when it says mini, the pedal, it really is mini. So what you get in the box is the pedal and the power supply for it. So let's take the pedal out first. The pedal comes in a thick, high quality bag. And then there we have it. I will do a photograph and zoom in on that now. But that's pretty cool. That's so small. Right. The print on it is actually raised slightly. There's some... The dials aren't too, you know, they actually feel like they've got a bit of resistance to them, which is nice. There is a button called Vibe. There's 3 dials, one called Speed, one called Level, and one called Depth. There's a little button that says Vibe, and then there's the main on-off button. There is a 1/4-inch jack in and out, and the power supply area on the back. Obviously, being a mini, these don't take 9-volt batteries. These are power supply only, which conveniently is in the box. So the power supply is, okay, so that's an English plug socket, well, sorry, a UK plug socket, and various other places, and these are obviously maybe European places. Okay, so there's a 1 plug box that'll do lots of different countries, which is kind of cool if you are touring and going to different places. So you got the power cable there, and then that, I'm assuming, there you go. Now I've got a plug for it with what looks like a fairly decent length of power cable. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable, isn't it? You know, that's good. Like that. What else is in the box? So let's put those away. I won't need those. There is also in the box a thank you for making Dunlop part of your signal chain card. Register here with the serial number for extended warranty. I'll do that in a little while. And a quick guide in multiple languages: English, Spanish, Portugal, Russian, Polish, etc. So that's all exciting, but that's what I'm really interested in. That is cool. That is, I don't own any mini pedals. I've got my regular size tube screamer. I have a regular size Boss Octave. I've got a chromatic Boss TU3 tuner, and I have my Dunlop wah. I also have like an i-Stomp, which I kind of sometimes put in the chain if I need like a specialized effect. But generally, I just use the tuner and rely on the sound from the amp. So I'm intrigued to see what this will do for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this up and let's make some noise with it. So I've got a Strat going into the pedal, going from the pedal into my wah-wah, tube screamer, octava, chrome, tuner, into my Marshall DSL. All the pedals are off right now, and this is just the straight sound from the amp. I'm turned down a little bit on the guitar. That's the full. This is held back a bit. So it just kind of cleans it up a little bit and it gives it a little bit nicer sound, I think, and I've rolled the tone back just a touch on the front pickup. Let's look at the pedal. So to start with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all the dials down to 0 and then turn it on. And I get nothing. Okay, that's because I turned the level all the way down to nothing. So the level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the speed and the depth all the way down to 0, and I'm going to have the level set at 12 o'clock and the vibe switch out. So this is without the pedal, with the pedal. Ooh. That does a thing. That's nice. That's well, I wasn't expecting to get something as nice as that just by turning it on. I've never had a UniVibe before. I've never played through a UniVibe before. It's just something that's never been on my radar. The only thing I've seen of UniVibes are what I've heard on Jimi Hendrix records, what I've heard on Pink Floyd records. Okay, it's interesting. Now let's turn the depth to 12 o'clock. Okay, that's something. That's a thing. Just to be blatantly clear, I'm not doing anything Hendrixy. I'm not playing any Hendrix tracks whatsoever due to copyright rules and all that jazz. I'm just going to mess about on the guitar with the effects. Okay? I really want to know what that button does now. Okay, so just going to pop the button in. Okay, there are so many sounds in this. suddenly, I don't know how to describe it. Let's flick the button out again. Button in. It's like all the sharp edges are being put back in. Mellow, fluffy cloud sort of thing. And then... it's very trippy. It is a really sort of psychedelic pedal. Okay, so what happens if I start playing with extreme? So button back out again. Let's go to the fluffy setting. You know, swirly, swirly. Let's go extreme on the depth. Okay, so let's play with the extreme on the speed as well. Let's go with that. Okay, so now we got some really... Imagine that'd be quite nice on the middle pickup. It's like what you imagine the 60s thought the future would sound like. Sounds like a 60s documentary about science and space. Okay, so let's try now with the extreme settings, but with the button pushed in. Okay, so let's try and control ourselves a little bit. Let's roll that back to 3/4 on that sort of extreme. So with the button in. Play around with the pickups a bit. By the way, it's flashing as well. How about if I bring in just a little bit of the tube screamer? So before tube screamer, after tube screamer. Okay, so let's bring this in now. And I can clean it up a touch with the guitar. Okay, so let's layer this up a little bit. Let's bring the wah on top of that as well. Okay, so now we've got... Yeah, okay, so now you feel like you're at some kind of hippie festival and everybody is mildly intoxicated, shall we say. Okay, so... without the pedal. With the pedal. Okay, so first impressions. Let's turn everything off, go back to the clean. First impressions. I like it. I like it a lot. I need to play with it. I need to spend some time with it. I need to get to grips with it and really mess about. First impressions though, it's nice, it's small, it looks pretty. My dog likes it, don't you, babe? Yeah, you're chatting away. And I think for the money, is it worth it? It all depends on how much you use it, I suppose. I'm not a big pedal guy. I have very few basic staple things, and most of the time I bypass them all and use a tuner, guitar, an amp as much as possible, and then I use my volume and my tone to control the distortion, which is usually from the amp. I have my tube screamer, which occasionally bring things in. Will this make me use pedals a bit more? If I'm doing that kind of music, I suppose. If I'm focusing in on that slightly trippier sound, if I'm going a bit more psych, which I love that sound, so yeah, probably I will use it. I love the size. I mean, that's really good because I've only used a really small pedal board. So that's a really plus. I've never used a mini pedal before. So yeah, I look forward to giving it a real road test and come back to you with another video about it. Now, there is another video I'm going to be making with this pedal in a few weeks' time. I can't tell you too much about it. If it's already been made, there will probably be something popping on the screen now, or a link in the description, or both, in fact. And yeah, that's going to be quite exciting. But first impressions, like it. It feels really solid, well-built metal case. It's not making any hum, crackle noises or anything like that. It's well presented, looks pretty. What more can you ask for, really? Thank you very much for joining us today. If you found this useful, give it a thumbs up. It helps other people find it. I'm going to be making a few different kind of videos over the next few weeks, so watch out for the channel, and that'll be going to be quite exciting and interesting. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week. Shall we have a happy ending chord? More suspense, isn't it? Until next time. That noise doesn't make me want to come back next time, does it? It makes you want to go, something bad's happening.